One. And we're here at Spokane Falls Convention Center here ready for track presented by Invacare. First event today, the 1500. We've got three competitors in this one. In lane 1 is David Timms, lane 2 Kim Yi, and lane 3 Lloyd Kelso. One thing we've noticed here right before the start of the race is that Lloyd Kelso looks like he's going to be racing in a normal chair as opposed to the race chairs that the other two competitors have had. So Susanna, what are some of the advantages maybe of racing in a race chair as opposed to just a normal chair? What would you get?
Well, they're completely night and day to me. A race chair is it's way more aerodynamic. You're in a position where you're on your knees and you can use all your shoulders and fully extend your arm, as opposed to being in a day chair where you only have a smaller movement, and it'll be quite interesting to see.
So do you see that very often, people in regular chairs trying to compete in races?
I actually have never seen it. So
should be interesting to see how it turns out.
Yeah.
So we mentioned Lloyd Kelso is over there in lane number 3.
All the athletes over for the 1500. So if you come down to the starting line of the 1500, we appreciate that. On deck will be the athletes for the 100 meters.
So again, the 1500 going to be starting here at Spokane Falls Community College. Three competitors in this one. David Timms is in lane 1, Kim Yi is in lane 2, Lloyd Kelso is in lane 3.
David Timms, number 414, Kim Yi, and number 510, Lloyd Kelso.
We're getting ready here, Spokane Falls Community College getting set for the 1500, first race of the day and of the track event, and they're off.
Kim Yi looking like he has a very strong start. He's also using carbon fiber wheels, which continue to add to his aerodynamics, and also they have a lot less give than the spoke tires do, so you can get a lot more power.
Now,
not lose any energy.
In a long distance race like this, is it more important to get out to a big lead like Yi is doing? Is it more important to kind of conserve your energy and wait for later in the race when you need that big push?
Well, the 1500 is the longest, the shortest long distance race. So it's good to get a good start in this race, a good strong start so you can keep it up. But after you get to speed, it's definitely you want to just work on your form and keep up the speed.
Well, Kim Yi out to a great start right now. Far out ahead of David Timms, who is in second place. Lloyd Kelso bringing up the rear.
It's interesting, looks like he's having difficulties with his compensator. He hasn't gone into lane 1 yet, and he seems to be kind of fidgeting around, but he looks like he's doing well. Yes, in this race you go to lane 1 as soon as you start, but they don't seem to be doing that.
So after getting a huge start, looks like he's starting to lose a little bit of that momentum, starting to conserve energy possibly at the moment. Right on his tail is David Timms.
Yes. David is definitely very steady. He's not using regular harness gloves. He's actually using open-fingered gloves, which you usually don't use that either. You don't pack as very much power in your punch without using your fists, but he seems to be doing okay.
Well, Kim Yi slowing down here as he approaches the finish of the first lap. Here, Yi is slowing down. David Timms now passing him. Just been informed that Kim Yi has a flat tire.
Oh.
It's going to be a tough break.
Yeah.
David Timms now way out in front.
Yes, you're not supposed to push it all on a Karima if it has a flat tire. It's very hard on the tire. But maybe it's not flat after all.
Don't know for sure what the official story is, so Kim Yi still trying to push hard, chasing David Timms.
Lloyd Kelso still looking strong.
Kelso with that regular chair as opposed to a race chair, but he's still going, still pushing himself very, very hard here in the 1500.
Yeah, Kim Yi is just kind of very steady, look too concerned about David Timms, who's slowly catching back up.
Well, Timms took the lead after the end of that first lap. Looked like Kim Yi had slowed down for a while. Someone over here mentioned that he had a flat tire. We don't know 100% if that's true or not. But nevertheless, David Timms still with a lead right now as he approaches the bleachers here at Spokane Falls Community College.
That's David Timms.
Still not moving.
From Salt Lake City, Utah. It's 19 wheelchair games.
David Timms, 19th wheelchair games for him. He has the lead here in the 1500.
Coming around.
Number 414, Kim Yi from Palo Alto, California, participating for the third time.
Coming around the corner, beginning their last lap. And he does have a flat.
Well, Yi passed by us shouting at us that he has a flat. Says he can't run much on it, so he's going to have to push himself very, very hard. It's going to be extremely difficult for him from here on out.
And this is number 5,
So even despite a flat tire, Yi's still pushing himself here in the 1500. In a situation like this, is that even wise to put a big strain on your race chair with a flat tire? Is it better just to kind of pull out of the race and cut your losses?
Well, if you're using carbon fiber tires, I would definitely pull out of a race. But he doesn't seem to be concerned about that. Spoke tires, you don't have to worry about it. You can finish a race for sure on spoke tires that are flat, but Karima's not so much.
We're now through the first 800 meters of this one. David Timms out in front, Kim Yi trailing him. Lloyd Keslow still very much in this.
He's coming around his final 200 meters. Wait, maybe not.
So David Timms, he was able to pass Kim Yi after the first 400 meters of this race here in the 1500. Kim Yi has a flat tire, but he's still pushing himself hard. 3 competitors here in the 1500. David Timms out in front. Kim Yi is in second place. Lloyd Kelso is in third.
And heading into the bell lap is 23, David Timms.
David Timms still going strong. He's still building on that big lead here in the 1500. Now approaching the final lap around the track here at Spokane Falls Community College.
Heading into his bell lap, number 414, Kim Yi.
So Kim Yi still working hard despite that flat tire. Crowd cheering him on here at the Spokane Falls Community College. Well, it looks like David Timms is just cruising right now. He knows that Kim Yi has that flat tire. It's going to be very hard for him to catch him. So at this point, he's just going to conserve a whole lot of energy and just go around here towards the finish line. Timms is in a few other races here today. He's going to be competing in the 100 and the 800, along with the 400 and the 200. Really is competing in everything. So Lloyd Kelso now going into his bell lap here at Spokane Falls Community College. So I have to think this is the easy way of winning this race for David Timms. Is going to help him out, considering the fact that he's competing in a lot of other events here today. He hasn't had to work very hard in this one.
This will definitely be a good warm-up for him at other races.
So David Timms way out in front. Kim Yi still with that flat tire, but still pushing strong towards the end. Lloyd Kelso also still in it with his chair. So David Timms down the home stretch. Found himself in second place to start off this race, but after
Salt Lake City.
Kim Yi had that flat tire, Timms took advantage, taking the lead and never relinquishing it. David Timms crosses the finish line. He wins the 1500.
And coming up to his final 100 meters is Kim Yi.
You have to give Kim Yi a lot of credit. He had that flat tire. He's still pushing himself the whole way.
He's definitely pushing very strong and not giving up.
How about a big hand
So a nice hand here from Spokane Falls Community College for Kim Yi. Had a flat tire after the first lap, but he still stayed in it. Had to work himself very, very hard to keep that chair going, get a lot of momentum. He crosses the finish line. We just received word that David Timms' official time here in the 1500 was 8 minutes and 17 seconds. So just one more competitor to go here in the 1500. That is Lloyd Kelso. Again, he was competing in this one with an everyday chair as opposed to a race chair. Kim Yi had a final time of 8 minutes 57 seconds. So Lloyd Kelso with an unorthodox approach here to the 1500. He used a regular chair instead of a race chair, but he stayed in it the whole way.
Very strong, very strong.
From Tacoma, North Carolina.
Lloyd Kelso from North Carolina. Down the final stretch, just a few more yards to go. And he pops a wheelie as he crosses the finish line, finishes off the 1500. So again, the order of finish here for the 1500, David Timms takes home first place. Kim Yi with that flat tire finished second, and Lloyd Kelso
With the bronze.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, getting set to